The Stipa-Caproni was a highly unconventional experimental aircraft developed in Italy in 1932 by engineer Luigi Stipa in collaboration with the Caproni Company. And it stands as one of the earliest practical explorations of ducted propulsion in aviation history. Core idea behind the aircraft was based on Stipa's aerodynamic theory that enclosing a propeller within a hollow fuselage shaped like a venturi tube would significantly increase thrust efficiency by compressing and accelerating the airflow, reducing turbulence and energy loss compared to a traditional open propeller configuration, effectively anticipating by decades the fundamental principles later used in turbofan engines and modern ducted fan systems. Structurally, the aircraft featured a very distinctive design dominated by a large cylindrical fuselage that acted as an aerodynamic duct, with the engine and propeller mounted inside this tube, drawing air from the front and expelling it at higher velocity through the rear, while the cockpit was placed on top of the fuselage, giving the pilot limited but functional visibility. And the wings, relatively short and thick, were attached to the sides of the tube along with a conventional tail assembly, all constructed primarily from wood and fabric in line with the technological standards of the early 1930s. From a technical standpoint, the aircraft was powered by a relatively low-power piston engine of about 120 horsepower, which limited its overall performance but was sufficient to test the aerodynamic concept. And flight tests demonstrated that the ducted design did indeed provide some notable advantages, such as improved thrust efficiency at low speeds, smoother airflow around the propeller, reduced noise levels due to partial containment of the propeller wash, enhanced stability, and safer flight characteristics, including a lower stall speed and shorter takeoff distance, all of which validated certain aspects of Stipa's theoretical assumptions. However, these benefits were overshadowed by major practical limitations, the most significant being the excessive aerodynamic drag generated by the large frontal area of the tubular fuselage, which severely restricted the aircraft's maximum speed and overall efficiency, making it slower than conventional aircraft of the same era. And additionally, the structure itself introduced weight and complexity without delivering proportional performance gains, especially as speed increased and drag forces became dominant, highlighting a mismatch between the concept and the available materials and engine power of the time. Another critical issue was scalability, as the design did not easily translate into larger or more powerful aircraft given the technological constraints of the 1930s. And at the same time, the aviation industry was rapidly evolving towards streamlined monoplanes with retractable landing gear, cleaner aerodynamic profiles, and increasingly powerful engines, which offered far superior performance for both military and civilian applications, making the Stipa-Caproni concept appear inefficient and impractical in comparison. As a result, despite the intellectual brilliance and experimental success in demonstrating controlled ducted airflow, the project was abandoned after limited testing and did not enter production, being regarded more as a technological curiosity than a viable aircraft. Yet in hindsight, it is widely recognized as a visionary design that anticipated key elements of future propulsion systems, proving that while it failed in its historical context due to technical and practical constraints, its underlying principles were remarkably advanced and aligned with developments that would only become feasible decades later, with the advent of jet engines and modern aerodynamics.